anything new? Mercy mains, if they're still crying? No, I'm kidding, but we'll see.
Yeah, see, maybe they watch World Cup. Maybe they saw something South Korea did, or Canada, or another country. Perhaps they were taking notes.
Yeah, definitely. Like South Korea. I mean, all the pro teams are scared about them, so we'll see.
That's right. We have Critical Mass right here. Haven't heard too much about them, but I heard they've been around for quite a while. They're going to be in the blue, and the Savages. I know them quite well. Rusto manages for them. I've known them for quite some time. They were in our Overguard Haste 1K a couple of weeks ago when I casted that. Had a very early exit, but currently qualified. Have great talent, so we'll get right into it right here.
Yeah, as the Savages has already gotten a really good startup. Initially with their pharmacy, it seems like they were able to get a really good hit up with Derek, able to hit them all from the skies. With the 2D composition that Critical Mass is running, they weren't able to deal with their current, I suppose, push forward pretty hard, as they do knock out Critical Mass pretty fast and they get the point initially. Right now, Derek is hitting a pretty hard ult advantage right here, as he's able to have almost 80% at the start of the game. Critical Mass almost a little bit to show for it as they're getting ready to go forward. They've switched away from the 2D composition. It looks like they're going to be going a little bit for a dive here.
Well, that's just the typical what happens when you dive. Savages had all the speed, made it look easy and quick. That's what happens when you death ball versus dive. It's textbook.
Yeah, agreed, as both teams are right now skirmishing as best as they can. Hui going straight for Cerny. No res is coming in, and Derek already shooting off his Pharah barrage, and it looks like Critical Mass not able to do much against an already 3 ultimate lead going on Savages.
Yeah, the ult charges, these team fights are going quick, but the Savages still manages to really bolster their ult economy, and that's not something you see. When team fights go quick and are not extended, normally, at least for the losing team, you're not feeding enemy ults, but the Savages are just doing a great job. Teamwork, everyone's getting some damage in before the team kill goes. Now that's what you want. You want everyone to try and get some ult charge before a hero dies.
Yeah, both teams jumping as best as they can. D.Va ults, Monkey ultimate coming in from Savages. Both of them using their dive as best as possible. Derek getting the impacts he needs. Support's already down, and it looks like it's going to be yet another hit down for Critical Mass. Already hitting almost close to 80% once they come back in.
This is just brutal. They will get one more team fight, though. But, I mean, they're switching so much. Critical Mass, that is, they can't even cash in on some ults.
Hello.
Agreed.
We see the Widow switch, now over to the Sombra.
Hello.
We saw the Pharah switch, that was about midway through. I mean, you at least need to try when it's King of the Hill.
Yeah,
you don't have much time. It's only a minute and 40 seconds if it's 100 to 0. Here we go, one more chance.
Yeah, agreed, as both teams throw out their Valkyries the best they can. Both of them almost halfway there. Res is coming through. Fair ultimate coming out from Derek. Enrique as best as he can, but it doesn't come through. D.Va ultimate going to the middle, but the no shields actually. Everybody LOS'd it as both teams skirmishing, but it looks like Savage is having a really good hit here as Derek's trying his best to impact the enemy team. All that's left for Critical Mass really is their supports and their Tracer, as they're going around trying their best to just do as much damage as they can, or let it go. And no, 100% hits through, and it looks like it's not going to be enough for Critical Mass to push straight through.
Well, I mean, Derek on that Pharah was just uncontested, and he anywhere he wanted to go, whether he was specifically on the point in that closed-in area. I mean, you got to punish a Pharah when that Pharah is not respecting your space. Whereas, Pharah's supposed to be up in the air, high altitude. That's normally where you want your Pharah. That way, she has to really work for those slow rockets. But really, Derek was just everywhere. He was on that point, very low to the ground, and just completely uncontested. I mean, he was getting healed through a lot of it, but absolutely no answer for the Pharah. They got to figure it out soon if they want to fix something like that. Now, thankfully, we are on Sanctum. Not a lot of Pharah play here. General, but we will not be seeing it from Derek. But we'll see, maybe he will continue his carnage on Junkrat, a popular pick here, along with the Orisa on both sides.
Yeah, especially with those extra shields, it looks like they don't want to be anywhere slow and lose any type of damage, as none of them had opted in for any sort of Reinhardt.
Oh, no.
It looks like Critical Mass is getting hit horribly as the damage is going straight through, and the right clicks off of the Orisa going for Critical Mass seems to be working out for them. Both of them not even opting for the point. They want to get as much damage as possible, and that's a complete lie, actually, as they do move up their shields, and looks like that's what they're opting in for. Good hooks coming out from Critical Mass as they're pushing in pretty hard. Already one down as Tekka, the DPS, is down, and so is their Orisa, so the damage is not there right now for Savages. They need to come up with something else other than the Junkrat, as Derek does get a kill in the back, and he is right now off of 2 people. Valkyrie already hit out from Owl over at Savages, and it looks like they're right now almost half and half here, as ults are coming out as best as possible from each team.
We are just back and forth right here, but the Orisa orbs for Darth Laney are coming in beautifully. That's the 3rd environmental kill. We'll lose the point, though.
Yeah, and it looks like what really hit them hard is the fact that Dino was able to get his Zenyatta Transcendence out, and that literally opted for the best sustain possible, yeah. And again, they do have the advantage on the point, already 10% going through, as they did capture the point. It looks like Savages, they did have something good there going in the beginning.
No, yeah, Critical Mass, some great teamwork. They were really, they're getting the environmental kills with the Orisa, playing the shield war very well. They might want to try that again, because that was working for him, but Tekka right here, he's going to reap with that tack visor, cleaning him up. That's going to send him back to spawn. Team fight's over before it even starts.
Yeah, agreed. But at the very least, I feel like here we're actually seeing both teams have some type of semblance. I mean, those Savages doesn't have, Critical Mass doesn't have the point here. They do seem to actually have ult here, so maybe they have something to go for it. But the Zenyatta ultimate going straight down, already opting the point straight off. Junkrat and Zarya ultimate are down. I might have said Zenyatta, my bad, as Critical Mass is pushed back. Whoopsie daisies, am I pushing teams side to side here? Either way, they are pushed back in their team. Don't worry, I'll fix that.
Oh, that happens. We still haven't, I mean, it would just be helpful if we just had the team names in the, just above, like, the red and the blue player icons, you know what I'm saying? That'd be a nice quality of life update, Blizzard. It would. But here we go again, just this blender area is just...
Heroes never die.
The defenders, it's a typical story we see here on this part of Nepal. This blender area just is impossible sometimes for attackers to get through. And just the micro play from the Savages is really impressive. Ace of Spades right here in this Orisa, he's always coordinating his orb or his halt, whatever you call it, with Derek's C4 mines. So he's always getting all this damage, Derek that is, with those C4 mines, because he's detonating them as that orb comes through. It's really impressive, little stuff like that.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I've seen Ace of Spades in action. He's able to, like, just generally be able to work a lot of those neat tanks, and considering the communication, the chances they go through, it's clear that it's notable here. At the end, Critical Mass tried their best, not even to opt for that. They said, fine, the right side's defended, let's push the left. But it didn't seem to be enough. As the timer did go through, they were pushed back a little bit, and they were hit to the back. I do actually, I'm thinking about it right now, since we're at the beginning of the event, this should have been a best of 3, so I believe Critical Mass hit their win here.
Just asking our admin, our man Charge. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. I want to get confirmation first before I crown a victor.
Yeah, and to update you guys, yeah, if any of you were here for a game, for those of you just joining us, our previous game was going to be UT Arlington. They did have to forfeit their game as they were not able to join us for the first game. But right now we have Critical Mass versus Savages, and I do believe this was best of 3. Just making sure. So yes, Savages does win this match against Critical Mass, as it is single elimination, and they will move forward.
Going on to Eckenwald now. To say that's kind of uncommon in usually my line of work casting, but I guess you guys like it over here at the Cow, which I appreciate, because I'm getting sick and tired of casting King of the Hill all the time.
Yeah, so agreed. Or 2 CP2, straight 2 CP is just
fine too. I don't do any of that.
Oh really? Oh Jesus Christ! The amount of time both teams have.
Okay, yeah, I guess that would get a little. Okay, like a little bit of 2 CP, I guess. I wouldn't want it all. But yeah, overall, the Savages, I don't know, it's just their teamwork, just their overall micro play, just little stuff like that. You know, I mentioned Ace of Spades. He's always I forget what that ability is called. Is it Halt? You know, the little orb that Orisa shoots out and brings everyone together. It's like the mini grav. That's what we call it. It's gonna be mini grav. Shoots out the mini grav. Derek is there with his C4, and you know they activated both at the same time. So obviously the C4 is doing plenty of damage because everyone's all bunched up near that C4. Gets plenty of kills. I saw Derek cashing in on that a lot. Little stuff like that, you know, and it's so easy too. I mean, they're in Blender right there. That's why it's called Blender. It's a very small choke point for those attackers they have to get through. You know, maybe, you know, Critical Mass, maybe they should have got a little bit more creative. Maybe not try and go through Blender every time. Maybe try and go around some of those flanking routes. Because, I mean, the Savages did have their number, especially with that Orisa was clumping them all up, making it easy for Junkrat. But, I mean, Derek had like 3 or 4 Riptires that game. It was really, they were really feeling Derek's Junkrat.
Yeah, and I suppose with the changes, I feel like even if Mercy had still had the double reses, maybe they would have even had a chance pushing so aggressively as they did. But with the strategies, I suppose, Savages was always dictating the fight. There was always an ultimate put down, either Zarya or Orisa ult or Junkrat ult, just to be able to deal against them. So it's a little difficult without that aggressiveness, I suppose, coming out from Critical Mass. They do come out on the defense here, so they finally got the up and up. We get to see whether, if they had gotten the point, whether their defense would have been adequate against maybe Savage's attack. We'll see.
That's right here. You know, this choke point, again, is pretty brutal right here. That's why they famously added this little secondary entrance, the Storeway right here. It's really the only map to have a change like that done to it. So I think this is once again going to benefit the Savages, unfortunately. They seem to be very well containing these tight choke points. And just their DPS ults are pretty crazy. You know, normally tank ults are the ones that usually set the pace of a game. You know, those crowd control type stuff, Zarya's Grav, Ryan's Slam. But overall, it's been the DPS ults coming out for the Savages, really making plays. So, here we go. Savages once again on the attack. Or not once again, just regular on the attack. And that's going to help. Derek going down early. It's going to burn a res.
Yeah, agreed. His bowline just shoots him straight down. Actually, both DPS and bowline shoot him down. Right now, there's a fight going through, and the Pharah does come back up, but there's no res coming up for the next 20 seconds. And right now, Savages does have the kill advantage. It seems they were a little bit hit off. Bowline showing that he does have the accuracy, but the rest of the team needs to hit those priority targets, especially the Mercy, considering Derek came right back in. And it looks like that's going to be a quick point for Savages.
Once again, you know, they have the right idea for a little bit. Bowline, he's trying... But he's trying to keep the Discord on that Pharah, but, you know, he needs to do it a lot more consistently. He's got to give his team a chance. I feel like he's being a little bit too quick with the Discord orbs. You know, that's the right idea. You always want to keep the Discord on the Pharah, which I see right now, so maybe he's listening in. But he needs to, you know, you really need to keep the Discord on it until that Pharah dies.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just assumed these days. And Tekka on this Tracer, dude, need to be paying more attention to him, too. He's on the ground.
Yeah, agreed. Actually, now that you're mentioning it, I'm seeing that now. As they're right now, they were trying to deal with the Mercy, but slowly the team is being decimated just by 4 people in the front line. Point is slowly pushing forward, and it does look like Savages is getting a lot out of these fights. Now, much is going against them as they are gaining a majority of their ultimates, and I can see already that chances are they're going to dictate the next fight with an initial ultimate that's going to surprise them.
Well, this is just brutal for the side of Critical Mass. Can't get anything started. Lucio's chilling on the payload. He doesn't. He not a worry. Not a worry for Mr. Owl.
Yeah, just putting beats there as it looks like Critical Mass is in Critical Mass, but we'll see if they're able to get out of it as they're coming out here. And look, straight through Derek putting down his Pharah barrages. He does get 2 people, goes down, but the res comes back up. There's not going to be enough reses going for Critical Mass, so it looks like they might look for a contest here, but the point is going all the way through. Owl's just sitting down, not even worrying about it as he's still sitting down, and the point pushes.
Is this like a metaphor for the Overwatch link? Because he's Owl. This is just frustrating for the side of Critical Mass. I don't know. Any other thoughts? I know I just kind of cut you off there, JJ.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, put just thoughts straight through. It's a little strange. I'm not sure why Bowline used his ultimate there going up into the end. Was it Bowline? Yes, Bowline. Oh, actually, he switched to Lucio, it seemed. They're not going to be opening for the Zenyatta, so that makes complete sense. But look, all straight through. Ultimates going down from Savages. Diva ult and Monkey. It looks like a combination they like to use. Zarya ultimate going down. Fair Barrage hitting straight on it. It looks like they're finally going to be be able to stop Savages, but Hui does get a kill as he's leaving. Rez put down, not bad, since it is going to be an entire 30 seconds. Look like Savages finally stopped from their snowball.
That was, I think Critical Mass actually outplayed the Savages right there. You saw the Savages, they actually gave them some room. You saw them get off the payload, retreat a little bit, and that reason was because Hui had a D.Va self-destruct and wanted to kind of lure them towards the payload. I think Critical Mass kind of picked up on that. They didn't really occupy that space. They kind of laid back themselves, and that's why that self-destruct didn't get anyone. Wasn't even really good for zoning. It just kind of was there. And Critical Mass was able to come back with their own play with a grab and a barrage and able to clean them up.
Yeah, agreed, but right now no ultimates coming out. It's just Savages pressure as both Valkyries just popped instantly. Rez put down, but no Rez coming out from Savages as he's just doing straight heals. Tac Visor coming out from the back from both of them, but Derek is High Noon just takes him out initially. Jawaki not able to do anything as Rez is coming out from both teams, but Savages looks like they have the advantage. All they need to do is take off that Lucio, and that's exactly what they do. Bow line down, point pushing forward, but with only one person on it, it looks like Savages is going to be opting in for taking out Critical Mass as best they can.
Well, there was some hope, but the snowball is back on. Derek does go down though, and well, both DPS down now. I mean, they got the spawns, so I wouldn't be surprised if Critical Mass can hang on here.
Yeah, a little bit strange not opting for the point to go a little bit faster, but it looks like yes, Critical Mass is putting down their support ultimates, but with the straight DPS coming out for both tanks and, well, actually, both DPS are dead. It's just tanks right here. They are doing enough, but like you said, respawns are coming through, and it does look like Critical Mass is going to be able to hold this, right? Oh, no! Hui! The shield just initially went down. I'm not sure what damage did enough to go down, but Hui able to get a triple kill. Right now, staggering out is Savages as all DPS and supports do come back in. I imagine a Rez either came down or is going to come in. We'll see Savages still contesting. It looks like they still feel like they can grab this point as damage is going through from Derek as he's trying to get key picks here. Owl and Derek able to get one kill, and High Noon coming straight through all of them, trying to LOS as best they can, and it looks like they do, but Owl does go down. Hui, this is literally the scrappiest fight I've ever seen, but Savages seems to have this advantage as they're able to kill everyone and push a full Eichenwald.
2.5 minutes left. Like you said, Hui right there, I think that was finally, you know, the Savages were just looking for something to eventually push them over. That's always what you're looking for when you're, I call it the 5-meter dash, when you're, you know, the little numbers come up on the thing, you know, you're that close. You always just need that one thing that just flushes everyone out, because you know it's just going to be a bunch of 6v2s, you know, because of the, you know, that big spawn advantage defenders have, and that's exactly what they needed, self-destruct. But I love Hui. I've been watching him since summer. At tournaments like this, his D.Va bombs always excite me. Someone who is so resourceful when it comes to them. He's done everything. He as Baby D.Va, he shoots out he kills barriers that are meant to protect people. He does things with his boosters with the self-destruct. He even one time activated the self-destruct, and then as Baby D.Va, you know, the player model, pushed the ulting mech over like the high ground onto the bottom and killed like 3 people. So, like, you know what I'm saying? The D.Va bomb was destructing on the top, and he used Baby D.Va to push it over, and it fell down onto the point and killed like 3 people because they thought they were safe on the bottom. He's a blast to watch. Right there, yet another example. I think he did end up as Baby D.Va with the blaster, finish off the damage to that barrier, get those couple kills.
Oh, interesting. There it is. Okay. I mean, unheard of, some of these strategies, but that makes complete sense. I mean, neat. It's something I doubted it at first. I was like, why is the D.Va ult coming out? But that makes complete sense. Okay.
Yeah, he's a blast to watch. He's been great for the Savages. But 2.5 minutes. It's could have been a lot worse.
Chance.
You know, I mean, Critical Mass, they were able to stall for a couple minutes. Well, a little bit less than a couple minutes, but, you know, if they can just find something here, but if not, at the end of this 4 minutes, it could be over for Critical Mass, and the Savages will be moving on.
Yeah, we see Critical Mass having a little bit of trouble going against the defensive Savages, but they've gone against them already for 2 maps, technically, with Koth. So we'll see if they're able to maybe pierce straight through this.
Look at this.
Seems to be some type of hiding-based composition as they're Savages hitting the top with all their hard hitters, and the tags are gonna go just straight in, boom, right up the back. Damn it. right on that Reinhardt. So the shield doesn't do anything. Very good idea. Discord does go on ace as he goes down, but the res comes through. The sharpshooters in the back are doing as much damage as they can. Shellshock is back though, shield up, as they will be contesting, but that Reinhardt shield does not look good. They're pushing forward as best as they can, but damage is going through. Shellshock is not able to do as much, and right now, Savage's Soldier and Zenyatta are doing a good amount of damage in that backline. Tanks bobbing and weaving from the back, using the point as a point of LOS. Valkyrie does come out for critical mass as reses and heals are coming through, and both teams still staggering very well. Savages not needing as much reses as critical mass right now.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting that Zarya, the Savages that is, kind of messed up their hide comp a little bit. That is one thing that counters stuff like that. That's kind of surprising stuff. Zarya projected barrier, but we're still fighting right here. Huey getting that trance, probably going to help him out big time. That'll finish off what's left, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little strange. I feel like they had a good attack going. Their ultimates were coming very quickly, almost surprisingly. But I feel like something needs to be done with them. Kills need to go through, especially against the Mercy. Clearly, Savages, they need to hold on to the kills that... Oh, Critical Mass, sorry, need to hold on to the kills that they're getting. And I think the best way to do that is once they kill them, or rather, maybe the priority should start moving to Mercy.
Well, unfortunately, Critical Mass is running a comp that's very good for kind of busting through choke points, getting onto the point. But unfortunately, they don't have a lot of point pressure type of stuff. You know, Reinhardt doesn't really do well when he's being surrounded by, you know, heroes and tanks and DPS. And there it is. Tekka using boosters to boop it off.
That was pretty beautiful.
Another kind of resourceful play you see from the Savages. Oh, the Doomfist!
Beautiful.
Oh,
I didn't even see the switch.
I didn't see... Yeah, Owl. I know he... Yeah, not much to say to that. That's a great Doomfist. I just kind of realized that there's nowhere really to run when you're in this corridor right here.
Yeah, and I don't think they expected it either. I didn't expect it. It was so random, just like, oh shit, oh crap, Doomfist. Sorry for everybody watching at home for PG, but honestly, it was a little surprising to see a Doomfist coming straight through. Again, we see Savages, Savages using some interesting tactics, clearly defying tactics. If a Reinhardt holds in the corner, why not use your Diva to push him straight off if he's being that aggressive? And that's what we see. Pushing him straight off. He has nowhere to go up. His team isn't going to go down for him unless they want to, and they just take him out one by one.
I do have to give it out to Critical Mass, though, not, you know, always trying to go through mid right here around this area, trying to take the high ground right there. But, so at least it was creative. Trying something different, but we have another team fight going on right here. Primal Rage Winston trying to move off the map.
And the fight's going, beautiful, as both teams just going at each other from every single side. Some of them fighting off the edges. They do lose 3 people here, but just the Critical Mass does lose 3 people, and they get the rest going on I forget what the word is. Either way, Savages is holding very well, as each of them individually pushing each point of the map, doing very well. Ultimates are coming out from Critical Mass, but they're not able to get as much out of it. The best thing coming out of here is Reses and the Zenyatta ultimate doing enough sustain for Critical Mass as they are pushing forward. It looks like kills are coming out for them with Valkyrie on Critical Mass's side. This might be what they need, as a res might come through here. But there is no heals, only 2 people left, and Mercy does go down. Overtime is here, and they're barely on point 1. Only 1 person left, as their Soldier is there against 2. We'll see as he does knock out. All he needs to do is take out Tekka and Owl as he just walk right in. Who knows?
I got the mech. Oh no.
I'm believing. No, as he pushes them out.
I believe.
As Savages does get map 2. And I believe that will be what they need to push straight on. Congratulations to Savages, as they will be moving on, as we are here in Cow Premier Monthly. You seen here is this is the 4-person ultimate that I did not expect.
This actually might not be. This is just Huey just mowing down the innocent.
Being amazing. Just dishing out the general damage that we're seeing that we might not be seeing from the enemy team. I really felt like the ultimates just weren't there for Critical Mass. If they can just set that in, I feel like they'll have a much better go at some of these teams. either way. Well, we will be moving on to the next team. Thank you so much for joining us. We are in our second game here, moving on to game 3 as we are streaming here at Cow Premier Monthly. This is a single elimination where teams have to do a best of 3 on maps and a best of, right now, 3 on Koths, as we are moving through these games quickly until we get to the end. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll have a break until the next match.
Don't go anywhere.